a chiropractor, and she helps put people, well, you put the spine in the right alignment and everything else just falls into place, right?
True, and we also work on every other joint, muscle, and nerve in the body as well. So,
you've been doing some interesting research lately. You've been following Bay Street professionals,
yes.
and you've noticed a pattern with many of the categories of jobs that are out there. Some of them end up developing pain in certain areas, and it's a real, you see it consistently throughout that profession, right?
Absolutely.
It's called she's got a name for it, the Bay Street Pain Index.
Yes. So what we did is, even though people have different variations based on the activities they do, based on their daily life, their profession can play a huge part in what kinds of injuries they have because they spend so much of the day at work. So we found that admin assistants are the ones who tend to have the most pain in general.
So the people who do all the work,
Pretty much.
the administrative assistants have the most pain. Where do they have it?
So most of the times they have a lot of pain in the neck, shoulders, and they experience a lot of headaches.
That's stress, right? Those are tension
Well,
headaches?
it's stress, and I also attribute it to the admin assistants are the ones who are usually chained to a desk, right? So they spend a lot of time at the computer, a lot of time typing, taking phone calls. So I think that's the main reason why they experience the most pain there.
And they don't have just one boss anymore. They're often answering to many bosses. Is that right?
Absolutely, because especially now with a lot of layoffs, one person had an assistant, and now that assistant might be working for 4 different bosses, right? So they're doing 4 times the amount of work because they're assisting for 4 extra people.
All right, so admin staff, highest on the list for pain in the body. They rate at a 37 out of a possible 50. That's pretty high.
Pretty high.
All right, second most painful profession would be in the hospitality industry.
So when we talk about hospitality industry, we talk about a lot of people who are on their feet. So whether that be cooks, whether that be servers, room attendants in hotels, they all fall under the hospitality industry. So because most of them are on their feet a lot of the time, and they're doing things that are more physical, more manual, that's why we start to see more pain into areas like the feet.
Lawyers are next. They have a pain index of 31.
And for lawyers, I would say it's mostly because of stress and deadlines, right? So if you have a court date or you have a timeline, your client's not going to understand that you can't get it done. So you have to get it done by a certain time, whether that means sleeping in the office and working all night long.
So where do they feel their pain?
They get a lot, actually with most of them you'll find they get a lot of neck pain, but also mid-back pain as well.
Oh yeah,
but,
right in there.
They have to read a lot, they have to do a lot of research for their cases, and it's a lot of writing as well. So,
do you know who is the job that is associated with the least amount of pain? Bankers.
yes.
They only rate at a 20. Why is that?
With bankers, because there's so many people that fall under the finance category, when we look at bankers, we look at people who typically work in the branches of like Bank of Montreal, Scotiabank, like those type of banks. And truthfully, for most of them, they'll say it's not that stressful, right?
I've got your money.
So and most of them work a standard 9 to 5. It's not too stressful. So I would say
deadlines are low. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I would say that's probably why they're at the lowest.
But this doesn't make any sense that the second lowest would be a senior executive. You'd think that they would have a lot of stress.
The thing is, they do have a lot of stress and they work crazy hours. Oftentimes they have lots of travel. But I would find the reason that they go along the lowest is because they also are very good at taking care of themselves. So a lot of them will do yoga, a lot of them will work out regularly. They'll go for maintenance treatment, right? So before something actually becomes a problem, they'll make sure they have their chiropractic visit once a week, their massage appointment once a week, their personal yoga trainer once a week. So because they keep up and they're active and they take care of their health, I think that's why they end up being at the lowest.
Isn't that interesting? And
not because of low stress, they're very stressed.
But they've learned how to deal with their stress in healthier ways.
Exactly, and they make that a priority. They have their assistants schedule it in, right?
And they get it in this quadrant.
They get it more in the glutes and the glutes and the lower back, and less, unlike the other professions which tend to get it more in the neck and shoulders. So most people think that when you have stress, you only have stress and you tense up your neck and your shoulders. But you also can hold stress in your glutes and in your hamstrings. And that's why they have the lower back pain, because the glutes are tight.
You're going to show us some exercises to help deal with that, right?
Absolutely.
All right, what are we going to do?
So I think we should start from the top and then we'll work our way down.
Okay.
So a great stretch for your neck and your shoulders is pulling your head to the side, right? And so as you pull your head to the side, you feel a lengthening and a stretch of these muscles here. Now, if we want to target the higher muscles, at the end of that, you're going to turn and look towards your right shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Perfect. And so now you feel, and you can see in you, these are quite tight. So
You can see that?
I can see that. They're popping right out. So then the stretch goes more up there. And to balance you out, we want to make sure you do it on the other side too. So we bring it to the left side.
I feel that right up in the top of my skull.
Yep. And then we look that way. Excellent.
Wow. Okay.
So that's a great stretch for anyone dealing with neck and shoulder pain. Another one that's great for people with neck and shoulder pain, which you might not, it doesn't look like a neck stretch, but it's a muscle called your Pec Minor muscle, and that's associated with neck pain. So there's two ways we can stretch this one. One of them, if you have good shoulder mobility, is you can interlock your hands behind your back. Okay, so, and you feel a nice opening up there.
Oh, there we
now,
go.
what you want to do is you want to squeeze your shoulder blades together. So as you squeeze your shoulder blades together, not only are you opening up these Pec Minor muscles, you are also strengthening your stabilizers in between your shoulder blades here.
Good.
And you just want to hold that for 5 seconds.
Okay.
How does that feel?
That feels good.
Okay, now some people...
What are we, about 2 minutes? 2 minutes left.
Okay, some people might not be able to do that because of injury. So another option is to interlock your fingers behind your back. And then what you want to do is you want to pull them down. And then while you're pulling them down, also squeeze your shoulder blades together.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So if you have limited mobility, this is another great option for
Okay.
you. Okay, so to the floor. We are going to stretch the hip flexors.
Okay.
That is one of the main contributors of lower back pain. People sit all the time, so their hip flexors are contracted.
That's so interesting. The pain is here, but the problem's here. How
Because
do
your
we...
hip flexors attached to your
Okay.
lower back. So to stretch that, you go into a lunge position, and you just want to go forward until you feel a stretch through these muscles over here. To add a little bit more to it, you can just reach to the other side.
Oh,
So do you want to give that a try,
sure.
Val?
Does the knee go? I didn't pay attention. Does the knee go?
It goes right to the ground.
Okay.
And then you can bring this right here. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
So do you feel a nice stretch through here?
Definitely.
Excellent.
Love that.
Okay, I'll help you up.
Oh,
And we
thank
have
you.
one more to go.
Okay.
So another one that with lower back pain is you need to stretch the hamstrings more so than the lower back. So to do that, you just have your leg up on the chair. This is a hard balancing act, and then you want to, if you feel a good stretch here, you can just stay here. If you want to add more, you just hinge at the waist so that you feel a good stretch through the back.
But
of
don't
your legs
round
here.
the back, right?
Never round the back. So you
Okay.
don't want to do this. You just want to hinge forward.
Okay. Could you use a skipping rope or something to bring yourself closer if you needed to?
You could do that, or you can also put your hands under your calf and bring yourself forward that way.
Now, if you want more information, she can treat what is hurting you, dr-liza.com. That's where we should start, right?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to switch. It's good stuff.
Yeah, you
Such
wanna try the other
interesting
side?
research. Yeah. You got to check out these events in your community.